When I was about 15 years old, my mom would have told you, I think aliens abducted my son. And if they did for 10 years. I had and became what you would call the just enough disease. I had a just enough mentality. And it showed up in high school like this. I used to be a good student. I got decent grades, A's and B's. I was fairly diligent. I did my homework, I studied. And then in ninth grade-ish, everything changed until I was 25. And I did just enough. I did just enough to get out of high school. I did just enough to pass, which means I was a D average student. And I did fail some courses because I had it all figured out. I took a lot of effort to figure out how little I could do to get by. And that was the whole key. And let me tell you something. It took effort. It took more effort than to do it the right way. But because I thought I was getting over, for those 10 years of my life, even in the military, when I was in the military, I figured out what was the minimum standard I could get by on. I had that mentality. And you had to work to maintain that standard. You actually had to work harder to do that than I would have if I would have been diligent, efficient, and accountable. But I didn't think that in my mind. See, I thought I was getting over. I thought I had the system figured out. I could do just enough. You might have heard it in these terms. It's the entitlement mentality. And it is a dis-ease of the brain and the heart. And I had stage 5. I just thought I was all of that and that I was getting over on the whole world because I was just doing just enough to get by. Well, when I turned 25, 3 things happened simultaneously in my life. I wasn't looking for them to happen. I wasn't even looking to change. I wish I could be honest with you and said, when I became 25, I started to become a man on my own. I didn't. Outside things happened to me that I wasn't looking for, but they collided in my life. And these 3 things have been my standard for me now. And I continue to grow because of these 3 things. I think they're critically important. And I think if you have the just enough dis-ease active in you, and you do, and I do still, we all do to a certain degree, then you have to apply these 3 things. I want you to look in these 3 areas. Here's the 3 things that happened to me. Because of being in the military and then getting out of the military, I had a different location. I was moved from one area to another, which means I had to change my friends, my associations. And actually, when I got here into this state in California, with the military, I started a business. So all of a sudden, I'm around these people who are really driven and they're trying to change and become better and make more of themselves. I got around those people, changed my whole association. That changed a lot of things because these are people who are trying to grow. Second thing happened, and this was within weeks' time, I accepted God into my life. Now, prior to that, I was God of my life. Now, you might not believe that, and that's fine. I'm not telling you what to do or what to believe. I'm telling you what happened to me. This is my personal story. Which means that in my heart now, someone else ruled besides me. Something bigger than me. My heart wasn't all about with them, what's in it for me. Now it became something bigger. A bigger worldview and picture. Because someone else ruled the inside. And then thirdly, for the first time in my life, I accepted a mentor. Which means my ego wasn't that big that I wouldn't, or I refused to listen to other men and women in my life. For the first time, I started listening to other men and women who were successful. Because I knew now and saw myself in the real light that I didn't have it all together. I didn't have it all figured out. I had a long ways to go. And I started to accept advice from people who'd been there. Those 3 things changed everything. So if you're having a problem with just enough or just getting by in any area of your life, I want you to look at the 3 things. Who you're associated with, your surroundings, your friends. Who rules your heart, you or God? And then thirdly, who has your ears? The media or mentors? They're going to make a world of difference. I guarantee you this, if you start applying these 3 things in your life, you're going to see radical changes, not just in day 1, but in day 100 and year 10 and 20 and 30. They will continue to reap for you. You can beat the just enough disease, even if you're stage 5, by changing those 3 areas. My name is Ed Carcarey. I'd love to connect with you at edcarcarey.com. Find your passion, you'll find your life.